Hi, I'm Dr. Jim Lakin. I've been a master gardener now for about 4 years, although I've been gardening for about 40 years. Uh, Around 5 or 6 years ago, I started to develop an interest in growing plants from seeds, and started initially with a few flats in the kitchen window and had limited success. About 3 years ago, I decided I was going to go whole hog and see what I could accomplish, especially trying to germinate some of the more demanding native perennials. And this is what we ended up with. Okay, the first thing we started with was the germination cabinet. And this I made out in the workshop, just using 2x4s, insulation. Put some plastic sheeting down here, since the lower area is obviously getting a lot of water, and use some plexiglass to cover the front so you can keep an eye on what's going on there. Actually, totaling it all, it was about $400 or $500 in material by the time we got the lights, the heating there, and of course the thermostatically controlled heating pads. The lights, of course, are on timers also. But if you got a warm area in the house, you can do it for a whole heck of a lot less money. But since we were using a garage area and I was having fun, I perhaps spent a little bit more money than was absolutely necessary.
I'm Paulette Black. I've been a master gardener I was an intern for a year. Now I guess I'm a master gardener, learning all the time. I have a growing, I don't know what you call it, it's a growing with lights, a grow light system. And I was given this by another gardener who had used it and worked with it and was done with it. So I was lucky enough to be the recipient of this. I started gardening and doing plants upstairs in the sunroom, growing sunflowers and some of the spider plants, coleus. So now I have this system, which I've never had before or done before. So hopefully I'm gonna plant some seeds and hope they grow, and this will give it a good start for the spring. This is the bulb for the plant stand, and it's fluorescent bulb, and it's 4 growing plants. So yeah.
I'm Marie Stolte, and I've been a master gardener since 2019, or actually an intern, but whatever. Anyway, I'm a master gardener, and this is my indoor seed starting setup, which, since it's the off season, these are actually all of the annual plants that I take outside in the summer and bring back in the winter, and some cuttings and things that I'm kind of playing with. I started my seed starting with one of these IKEA shelves that was just repurposed. We had used it downstairs in the basement for something. And I bought 2 of the 4 bulb LEDs. And it's a perfect size for a seed tray. So the seedlings start quite nicely here. I've grown, these are some coneflowers that mistakenly propagated before they were supposed to, and so I brought them indoors this fall. And I also have some sedum that it's normally an outdoor sedum. They live outdoors all winter, but I brought them in just for something a little different to look at. This is how I started, with just these 2 sets of lights and a tray of seedlings. Unfortunately, this setup doesn't work the best once the seeds get a little larger, because the distance between these shelves is not very great. And so that's one of the things I regretted about it.
Janice Gessner, and I've been a Dakota County Master Gardener for about 11 years. And all during those years, I've started plants on my own at home. And my husband Bob here is the one who created my little setup so that we can grow those plants starting anytime we want.
So if you add up all the costs, current costs, the rack, the light fixtures, and the S-hooks chains, the power strip, the timer, and 12 bulbs, total cost would be about $350 if you were to buy it now.
My name is Robert Hatlovig, and I'm a Minnesota Extension Master Gardener from Dakota County. And this is my propagation system. I set up my system in the laundry room so I could hang the lights from the floor joists. You can probably see the chains and the S-hooks. This is so I can raise and lower the lights as needed. I also used a car reflective shield to line the walls. This helps the light to be reflected back onto the plants. I haven't planted any native seeds yet, but I'm ready to do it any day now. I have round 4-inch pots, square 4-inch pots, and 5-inch tubes. The tubes I'm experimenting with for the native plants because native plants grow tremendously long roots, and in a shorter pot they get root bound. This year is the first year that I've started to use lights to grow plants inside. Before that, I did winter sowing. And winter sowing is when you use a container similar to this. This happens to be a mixed lettuce container. And I clean it out, put in 4 to 5 inches of soil, put native seeds on the top, and put it out into the snow. I put the lid on it. It acts like a little greenhouse, but not much happens for the first couple of months. The seeds go through the process called stratification, and sometime in the spring, probably late spring, they start to sprout. The only problem with winter sowing is that you get very small plants by the end of May, and probably too small to sell in a garden sale. So that's why I'm planting some under light